Throughout Forsaken, we had visits to the Queen's Court. Weekly quests where we got to meet Queen Mara Sov, and some pretty mysterious and insane plot twist moments would go down. At the time, most of that was pretty confusing and brought many questions, like most things do in Destiny, like what could happen next. But now that it's been a bit and Mara has returned, we have some answers to some of these questions. Let's discuss the Queen's Court's visits and the secrets they may reveal about upcoming expansions. So the first couple of weeks there wasn't too much. This involved our guardian going to the Dreaming City for the first time, slaying Riven, and then learning about this curse. This is when this cutscene of Riven would play, and the player became aware of this situation. Week 3 was when we'd first actually visit the Queen's Court and speak to Mara. So the visit begins by telling Mara that we broke the curse because Riven is dead. But as it turns out, Mara tells us we played right into her hands, meaning Savathun, now that we have more info on this. And we know that Savathun was the one that wished for this curse and was behind it all, even Aldrin's darkness connection in the Forsaken campaign.
It's done. The curse is broken.
Oh, it thinks itself so wise. We all played right into her hands, beginning with my beloved baby brother. There are those who are more dangerous dead than alive, and there are those who win when we believe they've lost. You enter the infinite light bearer. This will all happen again and again and again. You bear witness to the fate of my people.
In the next week, Mara said she would have destroyed the Traveler, but too many are scared of what might thrive without it, the darkness and those who worship it. She also mentions that the Traveler seeks out these wars. Now, I never really thought about that, but it seems to be true. The darkness found us the first time and caused the collapse, and once it stopped Gaul, the Black Fleet yet again would begin to make its way to our system. Now back then, it would seem that Mara knew about this balance between the light and the dark that we hear so much about. Since that time, we've been through Beyond Light and now wield powers of both dark and light with stasis and things like Gunslinger and Nova Bombs. Things would start to get weird the next couple of weeks where we witness Mara having a meeting with the emissary of the Nine. They make an agreement and tell the Nine to move an asset into position. Now I'm not sure if we figured out what this asset was, but what she says next is interesting.
It was a friend once, a confidant. Now it is a shell. Avoid falling into schemes of the Nine. Like the curse on my people, their games never end. All this, and we find ourselves at the whims of so many small minds. Leave now. My next audience does not find the presence of the Travelers chosen to be respectful.
She says, it was a friend once, a confidant. Now it is a shell. So she of course is talking about Orin. Orin, as seen here, was once human and then awoken and a friend of Mara. One day she went out searching for the Nine and then had this transformation where they now use her to interact with us and other species. So the Nine have many connections to the Awoken that we've seen throughout history, things like Skolas and some others in the lore, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see some more of that over the next couple of releases.
Tell me how my brother died.
He died for you. Everything he did to save you.
My brother was strong, clever, devoted, but suggestible. I knew my plans put him at risk. I was not surprised to feel him die.
Mara wants us to explain how Aldrin died when she in fact already knows the truth. Her plan most likely included her brother's death all along, yet she's telling us this.
I knew my plans put him at risk. I was not surprised to feel him die. Many of his faults were not of his own making. Aldrin's decisions were his, of course, but driven by whips in the hands of others. myself included. This is the path I led Uldren down. If certain actors had kept to their roles, I would have wielded Uldren Sov, Light-Bearer. But even Mara Sov cannot control everyone.
So Mara is pretty ruthless. She had her own agenda with her brother Uldren this whole time, wanting to wield him as her own guardian weapon. One day we would arrive to the Queen's court. Mara would be gone, but there would be a vision on her table of Uldren's resurrection. There's not much here other than it was just sitting on the table, so we can assume that Mara definitely knew. And when you interacted with it, it would play the cutscene. Also seen in Mara's chambers from time to time were the pyramids, which she appeared to be studying. This of course was before Season of the Arrivals. This past season, we've discussed how Mara is full of herself and messed up for the plans she's had, like the one with Uldren. This next visit was a showcase of just that.
So, you know how to rule, do you? You understand the sacrifices I make. You speak of good queens and absent rulers, little light, so you must know these things. Tell me what I have done wrong. Speak! What should I do when my every action is in service of a future that benefits you? You do not know me or the things I do. Do not dare to presume. You have not earned the right. Get out of my sight.
It is strange, having him here. And yet not. Fro is a wounded bird, flinching away from me, so much like Uldren, but lost without a guiding hand.
And the last visit would foreshadow the events of Beyond Light. She starts by mentioning light and dark and how there is a balance.
When there is too much darkness in the universe, light must cast it away. And when there is too much light, darkness must drown it out. This truth is our burden. This is what it is to be awoken.
She then states that she dreamt of a friend she will come to have in the future. One that said this:
I dreamt of a friend I will come to have. She will tell me a side should always be taken. Even if it's the wrong side. I think I should like her.
Now this of course was the Exo Stranger. She says the next act is about to begin and then she just disappears.
The next act is about to begin, and I do not know when I will return. Fear nothing. Bow to no one. We will meet again. One day.
The next time we would see Mara would be this season in Season of the Lost, returning to try and stop Savathun and the curse in the Dreaming City that she had a part in starting long ago. But Mara said she'll be friends with the Exo Stranger according to her dream, so will this still happen, or was this changed around in development and they just released Beyond Light? Perhaps with Elsie's knowledge of the different futures and timelines, Mara wants to use that like she did with Uldren, but who knows. Anyway, Guardians, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Wanted to take a look back at the Queen's Court visits now that Mara has returned and dig up some of the answers to these questions we've been having for a while now. If you'd like to see some other Destiny lore and mysteries, be sure to subscribe to the channel. Anyway, I thank you very much for watching. My name's Evade, and I'll catch you Guardians in the next one.